As a solopreneur or creative freelancer, do you ever feel like there's never enough time in your day to get all of the things on your to-do list done? Or maybe the things that are on your to-do list don't really feel like they're that much fun and you find yourself avoiding them or procrastinating or putting them off. If you're not getting the kinds of results that you want in your business, you know that you're just not taking the actions you should be, maybe an accountability partner is the right answer for you. Hello and welcome to Coaching for Creatives. I'm McKay. I'm the founder of Business of Creativity and the host today for the conversation around what is an accountability partner, what is an accountability group, what can they look like, how do they work, and how can you leverage the power of having that kind of support and connection and consistency in your creative business. Do you have an accountability partner already? Do you have an experience of being an accountability group? And by an accountability group, maybe that's a mastermind, maybe that is in a Facebook group where you get to, post your goals every week and then you get to share what happened at the end of the week. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear more from you. I'd like to just start off with looking what is accountability in the first place. So accountability, when you look at the definition in the dictionary, says it's an obligation or a willingness to accept responsibility for one's own actions. When we go a little bit further and we look at what is an accountability partner, and it's someone with whom you can make and meet your commitments. So the value of being able to set your intentions and commit to specific actions and being able to have a system or a structure or a process for being able to take responsibility for those commitments, to be able to consistently take action. That's what the power of having an accountability partner or a group is all about. The way that it works is through participation, consistency, believability, evaluation, and feedback. So let me share that with you one more time. When you think about how does accountability work? Accountability works through participation, consistency, believability, evaluation, and feedback. Let's break that down a little bit. Participation. If you're going to have an accountability partner or an accountability group, you have to actually do the thing. You do need to participate. You do need to show up and do whatever the structure or format of that group or that partner is going to do for you. And sometimes even just the commitment to participate can start to generate results for you right away. It's extraordinary thing what happens when we make a strong commitment to a specific action or a specific task. It really does change how things work and how things look. And sometimes even just making that commitment allows us to see that action or the thing that we committed to isn't really the thing that we should be doing. It's like when you go out for dinner and you think chicken or fish, chicken or fish, chicken or fish, and both are great options. But when you make a distinctive choice for one or the other, you say, oh, I'm going to have the fish. In your gut, your intuition, you instantly know whether or not that is the right thing for you. But until you make that commitment, you could be going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and not really take any action. And then you get stalled and stuck, and you're not making progress towards your end game or your end goals. Accountability partners and accountability groups help you to declare what you're committed to. And the declaration in and of itself can be hugely powerful towards moving us towards our goals, moving us towards those desired outcomes. Participation, even just the doing of it, is going to have some value. The second level of how accountability works is consistency. One of the biggest complaints, the things that many of my clients kind of beat themselves up about, is not being consistent in taking the actions that they already know they want to take. For many creative freelancers, you guys already know what you should be doing. You already kind of know what the next steps are, but are you actually consistently doing them? And that's where the accountability piece can come in, because it can set you up for taking consistent action. Hey, Pip, thanks so much for joining me live. Do you have an accountability partner? I know that Pip Seymour is joining us live here, and she runs a group on Facebook called the Cyberpunks Marketing Geeks, which is a great space for all things cyberpunk marketing geeks. Great name. One of the great things that does is she creates an opportunity for all of her group members to participate in being accountable. There's an opportunity to share your goals, and even just the declaring of what you're going to focus on and what matters to you can really change whether or not you take action on it. That's a great example for an opportunity to participate. And the way that Pip does this is she's consistent about giving you the opportunity every week. And then it's up to you to be consistent to show up every week. And that brings me to sort of my next piece, which is believability. Believability often comes in the relationship that you have with your partner or with your group. When you believe that your commitment matters, when you have been heard in your commitment, and when you have been seen in your commitment to what you focus on, you're a lot more likely to take action and to follow through on those commitments. When you're just kind of half-assing it and just kind of sort of putting it out there, it can still be effective to some degree. The more that you, one, believe in the process and the integrity and the commitment of your partner and your group, and two, believe that you have cause in the matter of taking that action. So said another way, do you believe, and can you factually and in reality take action on that? Let me give you an example. If you said, for instance, something like, my goal is to get 3 testimonials this week. Well, that's a great goal. And if you have past clients and you have contact information for those past clients and you have a telephone or email, then you have the ability to be cause in the matter. You can take action on that and you can move towards that focused item or that declared commitment for yourself. But if you don't have any past clients, then it's really hard to get testimonials. For you to say, oh, I'm going to go get 3 testimonials this week, you don't even believe yourself when you say it. You want to make commitments that are believable. And then the next piece of this is evaluation. If you just state the commitment and then you never go back to review or to evaluate, how did it go? What got in your way? What supported you? What will you do differently next time? Let me tell you a little bit of story about this. I have an accountability partner. My accountability partner is a daily accountability partner, and I put out to her by text every single day 3 things that I'm going to focus on, and then a bonus item. And then I evaluate what happened to the 3 things that I said I was going to focus on yesterday. Most days I say, okay, I did it. I got it done. It was okay, whatever happened. But some days there's like, didn't do it. Didn't write that email to my list. Didn't write that email to my list. And it shows up like 3, 4, 5 days in a row. And the first time it shows up, there's a listening and an acknowledgement and the feedback on it. The second time it shows up, there's a listening and acknowledgement and some feedback on it. The third time it shows up on my list as not having action on it, our agreement is that she gets to call me out and to say, okay, what's going on here? What is stopping you? What's blocking you? I get additional support from my accountability partner when there are things that I'm just not getting done, even with an accountability partner. Sometimes your partner can provide you some additional support, but the evaluation piece of looking back to see what worked, what did you take action on? What did you not take action on? That evaluation piece is so important for you to get the deeper value of having an accountability partner and really having that consistency of taking meaningful actions that are going to move you towards your bigger business goals. And then finally, that feedback piece of being able to see what works and what doesn't work, and being able to have your partner or your group be a listening and a witness for who you're becoming in the world. Often we get seen as whatever the actions that we've taken in the past, because the actions we've taken in the past got us to here, to this point, in this moment, in the present. And often people see or experience us based on our inconsistencies or the things that didn't work in the past or whatever got us to this moment in time. And when you have an accountability partner or a group and you are declaring what you're working towards and who you're becoming and what your dreams and goals are, you have a listening, a person, a group in the world that sees you as your possible future. And it is a powerfully motivating thing to be seen in our possible future. So many of us are struggling with a lack of hope and lack of optimism and lack of purpose right now, that having someone see our possible future for us and with us is a huge blessing. How do you practically do it? It can look pretty much any way you want it to look. And the more that you can create or find a structure or a system that truly supports you and resonates with how you like to communicate and how you like to be supported and receive feedback, the more likely it is going to be successful. For partnerships and groups, some of the key elements of success are having it be a specific agreed upon structure for how the accountability is going to work, agreements for how to deliver feedback, agreements for what to do if we don't complete something, agreements for how to celebrate and acknowledge progress and the completion of things. All of those need to be in place as a system or a structure. Beyond that, you can have a daily accountability like I do, where I text my accountability partner every day, except for Saturday and Sunday. I take weekends off. You can have an accountability partner or group that meets once a week. I host a group called the Business Acceleration Mastermind. On the Business Acceleration Mastermind, it is there to support creative freelancers to come together every single week to consistently focus on their business, to consistently declare 2-minute actions, to be supported by other creatives who may or may not be working on the same actions or struggling with some of the same challenges in their creative business, to be seen by the group as the future that you're becoming into. If you're interested in connecting with a really wonderful group, practically a family, we call ourselves the BAM Fam, please check out the Business Accelerator Mastermind. There is a link in the description. I would love to have you join us. And the first month is free. It's a great way for you to try on, does this kind of support resonate and work with me? You could meet with your support partners monthly. There's a lot of power into setting 30-day goals and 30-day action plans, and then circling back to review, revise, and recommit to those. And finally, the longest that I would go for an accountability partner or an accountability check-in is 90 days. And creating those quarterly or 90-day actions, focus, and clarity, and being supported in following through can be super powerful as well. As far as logistics, you can have it be a phone call, a meeting, text, email, but again, create a system or structure that truly supports you and how you like to receive support. Accountability partners can be hugely powerful and make a big contribution in terms of our sense of feeling more connected, less isolated and alone, taking the actions we already know we should be taking, being consistent in showing up to work on our business, not just in our business, and have someone be a listening for who we are becoming. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on today's topic. Have you tried accountability partners? How have they worked for you? What have been some of your favorite ways of navigating having an accountability partner? How do you even feel about the word accountability? Let me know in the comments. I'm Aura McKay, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much.